Hello out there in listening world. Wesley Bray here with Core Scope Insights, where we're always at the core of industry, expanding the scope. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. We've got an exciting show. I think this will be something that will expand on an area where everybody can listen in and find out more about what our guest does tonight. So me being on the road all the time in sales, as you know, living in a car, I like to keep my car clean and I like to keep it looking good and I like to be professional. So tonight I've got a guest in the studio with me who takes care of keeping my car looking good. And he does a fantastic, I get tongue twisted. He does a fantastic job, y'all. I've got Liam Grant in the studio with me tonight. Liam, say hello to everybody out there in the listening world.
Well, I appreciate that, and hey, how's everyone doing? My name's Liam Grant. I'm happy to be here.
All right. So, folks, Liam Grant owns a auto detailing company, and it's what is the name of your company, Liam?
It's
You want
called
to tell us?
Six Detailing.
Six Detailings.
Yeah.
Six Detailing. So, folks, Liam, I'm gonna turn it over to you a little bit. Tell everybody about Six Detailing and what services you provide, and how you can offer the listening world out there that have fleet trucks or fleet cars, or even if maybe they're an individual like myself, but always on the road and they want to keep their cars looking good. You cover a large area as far as doing fleet work as well, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I try to, anywhere that's even remotely close to Columbia. I've never had an issue with someone being too far to where I can't service them.
Sure.
But yeah, basically, I do mobile detailing, for as much as I can. So for the fleet work and for, what you have me do, I can do everything mobile, on site, pretty much in any location. And that's kind of one of my selling points is that, it's all about the convenience for anybody who's, looking for a detailing service. So a lot of companies you'll need to, pick it up or deliver it at least, or, it's just kind of complicated for me. I just need, someone sends me their address and I can do it there, and pretty much it's been a really great thing for everybody who's gone with me. But yeah, I pretty much offer every service. There's a few things I don't do, and I just kind of send it off to other people, which I have some great people for stuff I can't do. But yeah, I do, interior details, exterior details, paint corrections, ceramic coatings, and like you were saying, I do the fleet work as of lately for about the past year or so. That's been something I've been trying to get more into. But yeah, everything I do, I basically, I make sure that it's the same standard it would be as if it was done in a shop, and I've
Sure.
worked really hard to be able to, develop a process to where, I can do that consistently.
And at an affordable price.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
I like to keep my overhead low, and I like to just work efficiently, that way I'm able to afford to give more value to the customer.
sure.
That's always my number one concern is that, the customer's happy, and that's part of why I do mobile, is that I'm able to add that convenience factor to them. So it's not just their car looks great, it's also they didn't have to leave, they didn't have to do anything, they just had to call me, I showed up, do it, and then now they got a car that looks, fantastic. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Lim, let me ask you a question, folks. And by the way, I can speak for his quality of service. Every time he's ever finished my vehicle with a wash, a detail, it looks better than it did when I left the showroom with it. And I drive a black vehicle, so the reason that I try to refrain from using car washes or these automatic car washes is black paint shows swirl marks really bad. And I was in an auto club with a car wash when I had my white truck, and I was paying something like 30, $45 a month, or I can't remember. I know it was more than $30 a month, and I was getting
so
a wash and everything, but I'm a stickler for my windows being clean and clear. That's the main thing. I don't care. I mean, the mud can still be on it when I'm done. I'll pay for the windows, just the windows to be
yeah.
clean is a really big stickler for me. And I'm just kidding, but you've never left my car dirty. I've always been very satisfied with the service I receive from Liam and the quality work he does. So I wanted to bring him on here because I know that I'm not the only one that likes to drive a nice vehicle, because your vehicle says everything about your business, especially if you have it wrapped, and you can take care of wrap
Oh,
vehicles as
yeah.
well, right?
Absolutely. Any finish on a car, wraps, anything I can take care of.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was the reason I wanted to have Liam in the studio because, it takes a long time sometimes to find somebody that does quality work and that you can trust your work with. So every time I've ever used Liam, I have been very ecstatic about it, and he takes such pride in his work. He always likes to have me come outside after he's done and check on it. And I've actually got to the point where I said, Liam, I don't have to go out and check on it. I know you do a good job, so just let me pay you and you be on your way. But Wim, what made you decide to get into the auto detailing industry? And I mean, this is kind of a two-part question. Was there a moment when you knew this was the business that you wanted to build? I mean, tell us a little bit about what got you started, how you got started, and also, if you don't mind, just talk a little bit on how you compete with competitors out there. I mean,
Sure.
I think your quality speaks for itself. I mean, I don't mind competition in anything as long as I know that I'm providing a better service, and that's what I have
Yeah.
found through you.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. Well, to start off, I've always loved cars ever since I was young. That's just been
Mhm.
something I've always been interested in, and I've always wanted to work around. So even before I was, old enough to really have a job, that's the all I wanted to do was just be around cars. And basically, when I first started out, I had always, taken such good care of my car, and I was always researching new ways to do it, just new ways to basically just kinda stand out 'cause it was a really
Sure.
important thing for me, and, right around the time I was graduating high school, a little bit before, I just figured, I'll try out just, detailing other people's cars, which I had never done before, and, so what I did I had a job and it wasn't detailing related, but I just posted and I called around, I said, "Hey, the first 5 people who call me, they get a free car detail," and I just did that just to kinda get a feel for it, see if that's something I wanted to do and see if I was good at it, and also, see what it kind of what what all went into it,
Sure.
basically from there, I knew this was something I wanted to keep doing, and I even learned a lot for those first 5 details, and, that right there actually, ended up the first 5 details I did, it actually ended up bringing me my first 5, like, real details where I actually got paid for it,
That's awesome.
yeah, so after that, I just kinda started, pursuing it the way, kind of that way where I was just calling people, offering people, a good cheap price, and I just started doing that until, I was comfortable actually charging a rate where, it would make me good money,
Right.
at that time, and then from there, it just kinda just kept building, and I just, it ended up turning into this was my full-time job, and just kept going from there, and then, tell me that was the first question. Tell me the second question.
No, I was just asking that moment where you decide this is what you wanted to do. I think you touched on it,
Yeah,
but moving on here, for people who may not know the difference between, what's the basic difference between a car wash or even washing it themselves, versus a professional auto detailing? Can you
yeah,
break that down for our
absolutely.
listeners a little bit and explain what you do that's above and beyond the car wash?
Yep. So you get what you pay for when
Right.
it comes to getting your car cleaned. So those drive-through car washes, their main thing is they're just trying to get as many people signed up for their membership as possible. And the way they do that is by offering it for such a cheap price. But because of the price, there's to start with, it doesn't really get the car very clean, and there's not really a very high standard for them, and that's okay. That's accepted for those drive-through car washes. Also a really big thing is the car washes, they have the potential to damage your paint, which I see a lot of the time. Actually, a very large percentage of my paint correction jobs, happen because of they're taking it through the car wash and it gets scratched because they're just having dirty cars go through them all day. They get rocks and dirt, and it gets built into those brushes and just scratches the cars to death. What I do is basically I have a process to where every single surface on the car gets the attention that it needs. The way I do it, I'm not gonna miss a single thing on that car. So, basically
Or truck,
yeah, or
in my case.
vehicle, yeah.
You
So, I'm
do a
not gonna
wonderful
miss a
job.
single thing on that vehicle. So, I The process I have now, every single spot on that car, it gets cleaned. It gets, a lot of the times I'll get out the scratches if I'm able to do that on that job, and then it gets protected. And basically that's the main thing you're paying for is you're paying for somebody who's going to put the attention and the time into it, that you're not going to be able to get through the drive-through car wash.
That's awesome. Folks, we're going to be right back with Liam, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about how he can take care of your car, and we'll be right back. Folks, moisture under your home can lead to mold, wood rot, and poor air quality. That's why contractors in the Southeast rely on Crawl Space Repair. They design and produce high-quality crawl space encapsulation systems and moisture control solutions built for long-term protection. Their products are engineered for durability, energy efficiency, and healthier homes from the ground up. Protect what's beneath your home with trusted crawl space repair products serving South Carolina and the Southeast. Check them out today on the web at crawlspacerepair.com. That's crawlspacerepair.com. Homeowners, why should you settle for an all or nothing approach to your heating and cooling? When precision and comfort matter, professionals trust XCI Zoning. Proudly manufactured in Texas, they design high-quality zoning systems that give homeowners and businesses complete control over their heating and cooling needs, improving comfort and efficiency throughout every space. With durable, reliable products and innovative technology, they make it easy to optimize energy and maintain consistent temperatures year-round. For trusted USA-made zoning solutions, choose XCI Zoning. Check them out at xcizoning.com. That's xcizoning.com for all of your comfort needs. All right, folks, welcome back tonight. Hey, so we're talking about keeping your work vehicles clean, also your personal vehicles, whatever you like. Liam here in the studio can take care of any vehicle you got. So, Liam, before we get too far, I wanted to ask, what is the most common mistakes that people make trying to clean their own vehicles?
So, one of the biggest things I've noticed about people who clean their own vehicles is that, it's probably between they're just not really using like the right products for their car.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes if somebody were to use the wrong product in their car, they have the potential to cause something that, they might have to hire somebody to come fix professionally.
Right.
A good example of that where people will spray like a wheel cleaner on their wheel, or something strong and it'll dry in the sun. And then basically it'll cause some damage to where it might need to be buffed off or, something to where it's not they're not going to be able to do it on their own.
Yep.
That and probably they're just people don't really get how to keep their paint from getting scratched. So a lot of people have a really dirty rag or a brush. They'll brush the car with little pieces of rocks or sand in it, and that'll
Yep.
kind of scratch their paint. But those are probably the two main things.
Good answer.
Aside from just not going as thorough as I would, but there's nothing wrong with that if you're cleaning your
Yeah.
own car.
Absolutely. So, what's the biggest transformation in a vehicle that you've cleaned that you've seen? I mean, you can take a car that has faded paint, is that correct?
Yep,
Even if it's sun faded,
yep,
and you can kind of restore it to make it look a lot better. But also, you've done some work, you've told me, on some classic cars
yep.
and some people that have vintage vehicles or, very nice vehicles. So, you can
Yeah.
take care of those as well with kid gloves, I might add. So,
Hmm.
tell us a little bit about some of your specialty cars that you take care of on a regular basis.
Sure. Well, the most dramatic transformation I've probably done, it was a work vehicle, and basically, it was a plumbing company, and they put it through like a lot. It was just full of red clay. The outside was white, but it ended up being almost black because of just how dirty it was, and it was just full, just anything that was there, you name it. It was
Yeah.
just super dirty. It was a newer vehicle, so by the time I got done with it, nothing was too damaged, from what they put it through. It ended up looking brand new. Off the top of my head, that's probably the biggest one I can think of. And then, Specialty vehicles, I've done things like a RV, that was pretty interesting. I did a classic car, it's one of those, like, old German classic cars, I always forget the name of it, I always get caught up when I try to say the name, but yeah, it was basically just left out in the sun, and they're always buying and selling new ones of these, and that's a pretty notable example of that, just because 'cause they're always that particular person's always bringing me, old classic cars, and yeah, that's probably one that sticks out to me.
And wouldn't you say that, having your car detailed on a regular basis helps also protect the value of the car for resale purposes?
Absolutely, yeah, I mean, the way I see it, usually behind your house, your car, for most people, is your second biggest investment. And one way to kind of hold the value in your car is just by properly maintaining just the cosmetics of the car. So keeping your paint protected from the sun, keeping it clean, keeping the interior, to the point where it's not full of stains or smells. That's a really big way to, keep the value of your car. And I definitely recommend that to people, especially if they have a car that's, a newer, more valuable vehicle. That's definitely something I would recommend.
Sure. Let me ask you this, and I don't wanna throw you in the weeds here, this is not too hard of a question, but, what sets Six Detailing apart from other companies, your competition around? What sets you apart? Um I'll let you speak to that. I think certainly you're very competitively priced to where it's affordable. But other than that, I mean,
Yeah.
the service you've provided with me so far has been exceptional, and, I can say that. In fact, if you don't mind, I have a next door neighbor that has used your services before, and everyone that I have recommended you to with my friend of ours, my friend of my wife's, who's the nurse, to use out of her car a couple of times, and she's been. I mean, now you've done it what 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, 3 times.
3 times, so that's awesome. And then my neighbor next door, I don't know if I've told you yet, but his mother is interested in you doing her car because you did such a good job on Bubba's car
Yeah,
next
well,
door. So
I definitely appreciate that, and yeah, I always try to get those results from people, but
absolutely,
probably the main thing I would say that separates me, from other detailing companies is that, I'm I'm not a company that's been around forever, I'm not a company that, the way I see it is I don't wanna let anybody be unhappy with anything, and because of that, I'm able to put the attention into it that a lot of other companies aren't able to, just because I'm young and I'm building the company. So every single person to me is, a new opportunity. And that's the way that I see it. And I try to make that reflect in every car that I do.
sure,
Um I I like to have my prices affordable, but basically, I don't ever wanna lead with my price, so a l but the main thing that I'm trying to do for people is just make sure they're happy with everything that I do for them. So, not just the not just the results, that's very important, but also the experience,
sure,
the communication, every
absolutely.
single part of it, I want them to be able to be happy with it, and that includes the price,
All
but
important parts of the business process. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
very,
so
yeah,
that's something I'd say that probably sets me aside because a lot of people will try to, not to put anybody down, I'd never wanna do that, but, a lot of companies, they think the business aspect of it is kinda shortcutting stuff
right,
that's what a lot of people would tell you is the business side of it,
right.
but that for me, I don't agree with that. I see every single car, I wanna have it I wanna do the best I can do on it, and, that's people who come back to me over and over again, I think that's something that they notice, and
Yeah.
that's part of the reason they keep coming back to me.
Well, Liam, I tell you, for those listening out there, folks, I've been very satisfied with the work he's done for me, as I've mentioned before. But I want to ask you this question. I know I'm busy. I used to clean my own car from the time I was a teenager. I'd get out there and wash it. I would wax it. Putting on. You use products that bring out the shine in my vehicle, and you know, I've seen the quality that and the time that you put into it,
Yep.
painstakingly the time. And I'm 55 years old, guys, so I talk about my age a lot. I tell people, you know, I'm getting older. I can't crouch down and clean my wheels like I used to could without my knees giving me a fit.
Right.
So those are the reasons that I personally stay away from cleaning my car anymore. And plus, I look at what my time is valued to me and how much, you know, what I can be doing with my time. And I think that works with most families nowadays. Families are becoming more busy,
Yep.
and who wants to spend the same thing with cutting your grass? I mean, you know, do you want to be outside letting your yard contain you, or do you want to be, you know, let somebody else take care of it? And these are important aspects, especially if someone's in business or they're a family and just want their car to look good. But
Right.
you also do special occasions and things like that as well. But so why is mobile detailing becoming so popular with families? Have I touched on the reason there with people are just busier?
Yeah, I think that's probably a lot to it.
Yep,
Probably now more than ever, people are just they're having to do more than they've ever had to.
absolutely.
And I think now, as far as what people who have a family, what they have to do nowadays, I think that cleaning their car themselves just isn't really high on the priority list. So yeah, I think
That's
that's pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Absolutely. Folks, we're going to take this moment here to go to our next break. Hey, thank you out there to our subscribers as well. We want to thank you for liking the channel. We want to thank you for subscribing and hitting that like button and leaving a comment. If there's something on the show that you would like to see us talk about, please hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you'd like to see on an upcoming show. We'll try to make it happen. But we always try to leave our listeners with some qualified content that not only can be beneficial to you, but beneficial to others as well as trying to help out people in the business. This is a young man who's a hard worker, doesn't mind getting out here and going the extra mile. So I felt like it was worth having him on here to be able to announce the offerings he has, not only to friends of mine out there, but also to businesses looking for fleet care. So y'all keep that in mind, chew on that for just a little bit, and we'll be right back. Can we all agree that when your equipment stops, your business stops? That's why professionals trust Bearing Supply in West Columbia. They provide high quality bearings, power transmission parts, industrial supplies, and expert support to keep operations running smoothly. When you're in manufacturing, automotive, construction, or maintenance, their knowledgeable team helps you find exactly what you need fast. With dependable products and customer focused service, Bearing Supply keeps the Midlands moving. Call them today at 803 791 0371. That's 803 791 0371. Is your home feeling more hot and bothered than cool and comfortable? Don't sweat it. Call Cool Care Heating and Air of All right, welcome back here. So now, Liam, coming right back out of break, I'm going to ask the big question, okay? Because it was confusing to me, and I wondered. I had the question in mind, so now I'm going to
Right.
lay it on you.
Okay.
Why six detailing? What does six detailing stand for?
Yeah. So, I didn't. I'm not really great with naming things. I've always been someone who kind of overthinks stuff.
That's why your dog is named Roof Roof, right?
That's funny.
Just kidding.
Yeah. So, I just tried to think of something simple. So my name is basically William Henry Grant the sixth.
Oh, okay.
So I just took the sixth from my name and named my company that. So
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's all there is to it.
Well, let's talk about how people can get in touch with Six Detailing. So, why don't you tell people your phone number and where they can reach you out, and how would you like to be contacted for service, and let people know how to get in contact with you if they're looking for your services.
Yeah, so the best way to reach me would always be my phone number. So you can reach me at 803-206-6687. I try to get back to everyone the same day they call me always. And then other than that, you can always find me on any social platform. So Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's gonna be 6 Detailing, and you should be able to find me no problem. There's not really many companies with that name. So
Sure.
yeah, that'll probably be the best way.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm gonna throw a bonus question in here. What's the quick tip that people can do today to keep their car looking better between detail appointments?
I would say the biggest thing you can do for your car is knowledge. Just get more knowledge about how to clean your car. If you can do that, there's a million tips, but any one tip, that's the one. Aside from that, I'd say really, really invest in the right products for your car. So if you're gonna clean your own car, you should definitely go with something that's it's a reputable company, and it has a very clear um, results that you're supposed to get. That's something I would always recommend to people, and I always send my clients like a list of products I'd recommend to use if they ever ask.
Sure, that's great. That's great. So, folks, we're going to wrap it up here with Liam in just a minute here, and we're going to spin the prize wheel, which I hope you all are waiting for. And hey, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please do that so you can have a chance to be a winner. Also, on every show, we do have a drawing, and we spin a wheel to see who wins what. And we have prizes on the gift on our prize wheel. Everything's $50 or more, so just keep that in mind. Everything from Outback Steakhouse, Bonefish Grill, Walmart, AMC movie theaters, and Home Depot. We also have some Core Scope Insights merchandise. And by the way, when at the end of the year, we just did this a couple of weeks ago, Liam. It's been about a couple of shows ago. We had a drawing. Everything that we give monetary on the show throughout the year, we try to match and give back to our wounded warriors.
That's
So
amazing.
that really something dear to my heart and passionate we like to do. But we like to reward our listeners out there and our subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to Core Scope Insights, like I said, just ring that bell, leave us a comment, and let us know, and you will go into the prize wheel.
Cool.
So we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. So hey, Liam says he feels like he was at the Price is Right. His name has been called. He's already won the grand prize of being able to come on to Core Scope Insights podcast. So, Liam, we're at that point in the game where you get to spin the wheel now.
Cool.
And the only rule is it has to go around at least once. You can spin it as hard as you want to. And let's see what we can land on for a prize for tonight for some lucky listener out there.
Let's do it.
All right.
Here we go.
There we go. Round and round, that qualifies. All right. Someone has won a $50 gift card. All right. So a $50 gift card. And now the next thing we do, Liam, is we move this out of the way, move this forward, and let's see who has won $50 out there.
All right.
Just shake it up both ways, back and forth.
Back and forth. All right.
Yeah. Make sure they get fixed up really good in there. There we go.
How's that?
All right. That'll work. Now you get to open the door and pull out just one winner now. Okay.
All right.
Don't pull out two, pull out one winner.
All right. I will not look at it. There it is.
All righty. All right. Tonight's winner. Congratulations, Mr. Greg Smith with Sid Harvey. Is that you see that on there, PG? All right. Greg, thank you for subscribing to the show. Thank you for being a loyal watcher, and we appreciate your participation and some of the questions you've had to ask and some of the things you commented on in the past. We appreciate that. And hey, looking forward to seeing you very soon, Greg, as well. So, Liam, anything you want to close with tonight? Tell our audience.
It was a whole lot of fun being here. Really appreciate it.
And call 6 Detailing,
Yeah,
right?
call 6 Detailing. Absolutely. I'd be happy to take care of your car.
Absolutely. Or 3, 2, 1. We're gonna wave everybody good night. All right.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Good night, everybody.